Yo, what's up, y'all? Let me share this on matter of fact, y'all do it too. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Those of you who are here, Agent Nine and Daniel Barris Sports Highlights. What's up, bro? Yeah, make sure y'all show comments on stage. What's that? What's that mean? Live from viewers appear on screen during your stream. Keep the conversation going. Oh, okay, gotcha. I like that. I'm gonna start doing that all the time now. Put the comments up there. Oh, but yeah, let me share it on Twitter real quick, and we go from there, man. We are live. We are live. Let's see. Hold on a second. God damn it. Invite some people. Copy. All right. What's up, folks? What's up? What's up? What's up? Still doing it though, but hold on a second. You know, people don't be wanting me to shine. I don't understand what's going on. Disagreement Wednesday is in effect too. So guys, remember that. If you want to disagree, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. And I'm not here to fuss or fight or none of that. Just holla at me, man. I told everybody I was going live, and they can definitely disagree with anything I say. I don't really care. And mind you, and I'll say this for you guys, I don't know if anybody else who cares on Twitter. I don't know. I go at anybody I want on Twitter. I'm not Twitter to me is not a real place. So when I'm on Twitter, you don't have to like I guess defend me. You know what I mean? I don't mind defenses though. But don't think that I'm crashing out. I'm really not. I understand what I'm doing, and I understand what Twitter is to me. And all it is to me is a place to express yourself, say shit, get people hyped up. And then when people want to come and refute something I'm saying, I don't mind it because it gets me to do film and it inspires me to do film. So I do that as just lyrical exercise. I'm not crashing out, I'm not tripping, and I'm not mad about football at all. I appreciate Jake Tuck though. He always step up and say something about it. But Tuck came over and he hit me up. I mean, and I said, "Yo, you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm straight, man. This is what I do." But I was explaining to him like, since my brother died, I know you guys were around when that happened. Some of you were, but since my brother died, I don't care about the outcome of football. It makes it easier for me to watch a season and easier for me to, win or lose. I don't feel any different about it because that death put me in the right frame of mind as it pertains to perspective, right? Football matters to me because it's enjoyable, but it doesn't matter to me to the point where it ruins my day or I get mad. Win, lose, or draw, I don't be caring. You notice I don't come up here and snap after we lose. I'm not like cold red. I'm just like, well, what happened? Let's see what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody really jumping in and doing that. But don't worry about it. When I'm speaking on them, I'm speaking truth only. And a lot of times truth definitely hurts and it bothers people. But I will never say anything that's not backed up by film. So when I'm speaking, I know I can go against the crowd because I know why I'm saying what I'm saying and I know where it's coming from. I know that most people don't have the time to do what I do, so they're speaking from a limited perspective. So I forgive them, for they know not what they do. You know what I mean? But let me keep moving before y'all say I got a God complex. You feel what I'm saying? Um, today, right? Today is disagreement day. I know most of the people who actually tune in and follow don't really disagree with me, but you're welcome to. You can give me anything you think that I'm wrong about. We can talk about it. You can give me anything that you think is just wrong, period, with the team or the organization itself. I don't represent them, but we can look into film that way as well. And for me, what made me kind of like jump on today, what's up, Cowboy Politics? What made me jump on today though is really I've been looking at the run defense on film and I said, well, what do we rank now? And it blows my mind. You guys could do this right now. You could type in Cowboys run defense 2025, and you'll see that through weeks 1 through 9, they rank 29, 29. But weeks 11 through now, we're ranked second in run defense for the last, 5 weeks? Last 5 games. Second. And that tells you a lot more than you would think because it lets you know the culprit for these games not only is our red zone defense where people are still scoring on us, so we have given up rushing touchdowns, but not long ones, right? And we have given up a lot of big plays throughout the entire season. What we needed before was an identity where the team could do one thing or another very well. And I think they started to establish that with the front seven, which is the reason why I'm talking about the linebackers and the front seven. And I'm defending that because you have to start somewhere. somewhere. And if you starting with the secondary, you can improve this team pretty fast. And then some parts are already here, like Trayvon and so on. You would need a new coach and a new secondary coach, I would think. But it blew my mind. I didn't know this until today. I said, "Damn, we were ranked second for the last 5 weeks," and everybody complaining about linebacker play and pass rush. Nobody's talking about the secondary, and that kind of blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. But let me give some shout outs in here, man. Daniel said, "Happy Wednesday. What's up, everyone?" Agent Nine said, "Let's go." Proof it with the film. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do too much film today on this one, unless somebody jump up here and say something disagreeable. You can say it in the chat. You can say it anywhere you want. I don't have a call line. I think I should start, looking into getting you guys on here and creating a call for option because that might be fun. But yeah, you can disagree about whatever you want. What do you say? He said, J Tex made Texas made. He said, "What's good, Akoye? Is this a breakdown of the secondary?" Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the secondary. Yeah, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna show clips of the secondary, but you'll get the breakdown, the full breakdown on Patreon and then on Twitter. So if you guys haven't subscribed to my Patreon, I'm redoing it now, but it's patreon.com/Akoye. But I'm redoing it now where I'm going to start putting the breakdowns, the visual breakdowns there. And the only reason I'm doing it, not only because obviously I do want you guys to start monetizing the channel, but also because when I went live last night or last time I went live here, you guys know they gave me a strike in the middle of the night. So I just got remonetized, right? So you can do super chats again now. I don't want to lose the channel again because it's been like 9 months since they demonetized me, maybe a year. I think, yeah, November last year they got me and they just gave it back. So I don't want to do that again. I don't want to go back to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be very judicious with how much film I show on YouTube ever, unless it's like a completely doctored up cartoon. And even those, they get me later. You know what I'm saying? But the cartooned up, it just takes a while for them to manually review those and get back to me. But they still say, oh, we demonetizing you for this video you did 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying not to do too many breakdowns here. What I'll do here is talk about topics, things that we want to do, things that we want to talk about. And then you can see clips on YouTube Shorts. I'll put those up. And you can see clips on TikTok. And then from there, long form breakdowns, visual breakdowns will be on Patreon. So you'll start seeing those loaded up over there. But give me about a week or so to transition and start getting the content over there for y'all, especially now that we have the off season ahead of us. I'm doing player evaluations, so I have all the film locked in so that I can start doing the evaluations for each, level. So front four, linebacker, secondary, same thing on the opposite side of the ball. We're gonna start doing it all. And I'm inviting guys on to debate live because a lot of people keep talking like they talk reckless. But you notice what happens when people talk reckless, I try to discredit you, right? All you got to do is ask them a question. Like, listen, what you want to do? You know what I mean? Ain't no beef. But what you want to do? You want to do live? Let's go live. Nobody wants to do that, but they'll tell you you're wrong, but they won't get up here and show me where I'm wrong. But I'll show you. And then if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. Or I'll quit. If I'm up there and I'm talking, I think I told Marcus Mosier that. I said, if you can find me some clips, if I'm wrong about LVE, I will stop. I will stop doing content, bro. I will quit. I will quit. You know what I mean? If you could prove me wrong on that. So I welcome people to do it. Nobody's here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody came. Nobody asked for a link. So, that let me know you're bussy. You don't want to do it for real. You know what I mean? You don't really want to do it. But uh truth onlys. He said the truth divides, Akoye. That's a fact. Love the name too, brother. I talked to you already, Cowboy Politics, man. Keep fighting a good fight, Cowboy Politics. Yeah, Koye. I see you out here these Twitter streets slump. Man, they be mad too, man. I don't know, man. Twitter make me I think it's two ways you can understand how bad or how deprived the world is becoming, right? Twitter is one because everybody is either a gangster or they emotional. You know what I'm saying? Super emotional. When I say emotional, I mean, it don't take much. Somebody told me, Bull told me, you've gone too far now, Akoye. Because I told Legally Locked, I told her, I said, she said something like, how are you saying LVE is worse than the one-legged linebacker? I'm like, okay. I said, stay in your lane, miss, and learn the game. That's all. That's all I said. They was like, "You went too far." Like I called her, you know what I mean, or something. I'm like, "This is crazy. Y'all really snapping and putting the cape on." And I ain't even do nothing to her. I thought we was playing dodgeball. You know what I'm saying? You threw the ball at my face, I threw the ball at your face. Now you want to take your ball and go home. You know what I'm saying? That's nutty to me, man. Don't come in this arena if if you don't want to debate and you can't take what's coming back. Because I'm an equal opportunity ass whooper. And I'm not mad at nobody. So if you are, I believe in equality. You know, if you come here and you say, "Hey, I watch football and I'm a lady," I deal with all the ladies who like bitches love sports. Shout out to Jazz. Shout out to Aisha Morris. I've mentored and helped plenty of the lady folk in football space, man, and they love me to death. I love them to death. You know what I mean? We all cool. So it's not a chauvinistic thing. It's just if you playing over here in the space, you better learn how to swim or don't come over here. That's all. We playing football. This is not, flag. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is what it is. But I see that happening a lot. He said, "Are you going back live with Boss today, or is just a solo?" I was Boss a little bit down right now. I called him beforehand. He was just like, "Man, I'm beat," so he don't feel like jumping on, and I don't blame him. So we'll do it another day. But yeah, we definitely going live again, but not today, not today. Bro, I just done a video stating that Fluss can run scheme, but he's terrible situationally. Yeah. Fluss I think here's the thing with Fluss, right? So I can talk about the fact that I want him gone without hating the guy, right? I don't hate Fluss. I do think at this point he should be fired because he's lost his equilibrium. He hasn't established his identity except for the fact that he's stopping the run as of late. But he hasn't established an identity. And what I mean by that is in the beginning of the season, I gave him grace because I think I said this several times, but you guys, so those who heard it know, but those who haven't will hear it now. But I gave him a lot of grace due to the fact that I know what it's like to get your hopes up about something and then it falls through the wayside or falls by the wayside later on, right? Like he probably came here thinking I'm going to probably be coaching Micah Parsons because knowing this front office, I don't think they told him what they were going to do. I don't even think they told Brian Schottenheimer what they were going to do before they did it because Jerry's not that type, right? So um, I'm serious about the fact that I think that coming here, he thought he was going to be coaching the team we had leaving last year. Micah Parsons, okay? Trayvon Diggs, Bland. You get what I'm saying? Wilson, Hooker, those guys, you know what I mean? Then we had some additions that he asked for, like Kenneth Murray. And he wanted an athletic linebacker, and he got that, right? So when you're looking at him from that standpoint, you say, hey, he needs some grace due to the fact we had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of moving parts. He had to learn how to use Kenny Clark because Kenny Clark just got here the day before we started playing football. You know what I mean? There's a lot that went on where, he had to reevaluate his position. He had Mozzie, who he didn't like. So he said, hey, you riding the bench. He had Jay Toia rotating in and out, who was not good. You know what I mean? Then you have undersized Osa, who's good versus pass and good when he's squared up, but when he gets turned, he's pretty bad, versus the run. So he had a lot going on in the beginning of the season that he couldn't solve with just scheme. He had to get some players. But since he's gotten the players, the issues have resurfaced with the secondary. All right. The issues have resurfaced since he's gotten the talent. So this is why I'm judging him now, not because I look at him like he was trash all year, like everybody else does. Because everyone who's doing that is looking at it through a vacuum. You go to work thinking that you got your desk and your computer and your phone and your chair, your Herman Miller chair, your computer chair, and then none of that stuff is there, right? And then your boss says, "Still performs. I want you to outperform what you were doing when I gave you all the amenities." Right? That's a tough ask, and that's what we were asking of Eberflus for the first 9 games of the season. I wasn't that mad at him because I could see what he was trying to do. He got Trayvon in there for 2 games and said, "Hey, I want to tilt all the coverage to the other side of the field." Well, I can show you how that ended. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to tilt the coverage to the other side of the field and leave Trayvon on the island. Do you guys want to see how that ended? Let's watch real quick. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go chronologically through this season because I ain't got shit else to do other than do what I want to do. You feel me? So let's do that. But let me find it for you real quick. And no, I don't got my goddamn glasses. And then one of you mentioned it, I ain't gonna do shit but squint. So it is what it is.
Hey, what's up,
But
folks? I ain't even gonna.
turn that down. Let me see if this is the one. This is not the one. But we could look at this game, but I think this is Trayvon as well in this Giants game. Let me see. Yep, this is some Trayvon issue, but this is not what I'm looking for. Let me remove that real quick. Let me see. Where is that at? Video file. Hold on a second, folks. All right. This may be it. Yeah, I think I got this one. I think this is the one. Hold on. I think that plays in here somewhere. Let's watch what Trayvon was giving us in this game. Let me see what we got going on. I got a lot going on in this game. Let me see what Trayvon. I don't think this is a Trayvon video either. Anyway, I'm gonna still find it because I know I started the point and I wanted to show you how it ended. So that's what we're gonna do. Hold on. Trayvon's video is here somewhere though. I don't know. Maybe I didn't maybe I did something with it. I don't know what I did with it, man. What would I do with that? Let me get back to it. Hold on. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe it's this one.
What's up,
Yes.
folks? Welcome back.
Nope. This is that's CJ Gardner Johnson. I don't know where Trayvon's footage is currently, people. But we could watch the Giants game later. But because it's that's more Murray and because someone was attacking Murray on that one, so I kind of put Murray out there on that video. But my point in that game though against Neighbors, I think I put it on Twitter. You guys can see it on Twitter. That's where I'll show it. All right, I'll share my screen. Let me go to Twitter and I'll find that video for you real quick. Posts. All right. Go to my channel. Profile. Boom. I got a lot of posts. So let me type in my name, Trayvon Diggs. Boom. Yeah, why this one ain't on there though? That would have been dope. This is a dope ass breakdown, but I don't know where I saved it at. I must have it on another computer. So that John dope. All right, and Trayvon's still not in this one either. Or it's the Giants footage in this one. All right. Oh yeah, I don't know where it is then. All right, it's cool. Forget it. Anyway, you're just gonna have to use your imagination. In the Bears game, you already know that he was pressing and he missed on that press, and then he got spanked for it. And after that, they gave up a flea flicker. That was a 65 yard or something like that. And from then on, I think he stopped trusting Trayvon to man that side of the field. He also did that in the Giants game. He gave him Neighbors. He said, "You want to match up on Neighbors?" Trayvon probably asked for that, and then failed miserably. And if you're a new defensive coordinator and you're trying to establish your name, you're trying to win games, and both of those games, including the Green Bay game as well, were all winnable games. So if you're trying to win games, and the difference is, the ego of certain players, or you have a guy like a Trayvon who's asking for a certain level of responsibility, and unlike Al Harris, who was giving him that level of trust, you squander that trust as soon as you get your defensive coordinator to trust you. That becomes a problem, especially when you're vocal with the media and you guys have that little back and forth about grits and everything else, right? So he wants a Jalen Johnson type that he can tilt the defense using a corner that can kind of lock his side down, sort of like Revis with the Jets. Same thing, same concept. He wants to shut down one side of the field, one guy, and then play defense with 10 guys. That's what he wants to do. And Trayvon is supposed to be the guy that allows him to do that, and he wasn't. So I gave him grace initially at Eberflus because I'm looking at it that way. So all right, well Trayvon was not quite right, and he was making bonehead plays. So I can't blame that on Eberflus. He didn't draw that up. And then even more so when Bland came back in the Green Bay game, he got beat for a bomb too immediately. So it's like, damn, both of your top corners look like rookies right now, right? Now, some of that could be your coaching, some of that could be the injuries, some of that could be Trayvon's not focused. It could be a lot of things, but all in all, he didn't have a secondary for one reason or another almost this entire season, and it showed. Now, when you have one side, meaning the front seven, locked down where nobody's running on you all day the way they used to, we see a lot of 1 yard runs, a lot of 2 yard runs now when you watch NFL Pro. When you're watching the film, you see 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard, 3 yard, 3 yard, 7, 1 yard, 1 yard, 8, 1 yard, 1 yard, 2 yard, negative, negative, negative. It'd be like that now. And then 17, and then it's back to the bullshit. So you can't run on them consistently. You might squeeze one out on the edges every once in a while, but you're not going to run the ball the way you used to against the Dallas Cowboys when they're running with Quentin Williams in the rotation. You have to wait for the right personnel groups in order to run the ball now. So if that's the case, you have made teams successfully predictable. And if they're predictable and you still can't stop the pass, if you're manning the run, you don't have to worry about the play action as much and you still can't stop the pass. And you're still giving up like egregious bombs like the one Caleb gave up for 58 yards. There's something going on with the coaching. And I think players play to their coach's personality. And the corners look scared, probably because the defensive coordinator's scared. And he's scared, so he can't let you play as free and own your mistakes the way I think Al Harris used to. Al Harris just don't give a damn. You're like, man, go ahead, roll the dice. But I think Eberflus and whomever the secondary coach is under him, they all are very, very tight leashed, both by Jerry because they don't have a lot of leeway. So I can understand it. But at the same time, once you have a guy that's tentative and playing conservative at a position where you have to have balls of steel, no pun intended, but you got to have a lot of heart and short memory. That can become very difficult, especially for the young guys. Like shout out to Revel. I like what he's doing. I like how Bland is playing as of late, but we still see there's a glaring hole missing in the secondary. And I think that is an elite corner to the level or to the likes of which Diggs is. I don't think Bland is bad at all. I think Bland is a Pro Bowl corner, All Pro, whatever, right level. But I think he's better suited closer to the ball and in the nickel. And even if we're being honest, even he has regressed under Eberflus. No matter how much I like how he's playing right now, he's not the Bland that you better not throw the ball at. He's like, okay, you can have him. Marcus Mariota, pick six, don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Because when it counts, against the top tier quarterbacks in the league so far, he hasn't looked the same. And that's because he's learning a new defense, obviously. But at the same time, the way they're calling plays and the situations they're putting these guys in are not the best for them. You're not challenging quarterbacks. And there could be many reasons for that. But Eberflus can't get any more leeway because, and this is the reason, he's already lost, like I said, his equilibrium. So if he comes into the league next year, to the season next year, and he has any struggles, I think he's going to be just as gun shy as a corner would be when he gets beat. After a corner gets beat, you notice when Revel start getting beat versus Detroit, everything start going bad. He start tripping, and he misses a touchdown. You get nervous, and you're kind of behind the 8 ball. And I think Eberflus is too far behind the 8 ball to save him at this point. So just let him go. But if you let him go, you got to bring us a coordinator who really is about that work, man. I don't care about who Jerry likes anymore. I want someone who Schottenheimer doesn't like. Who do you hate? I know you talk about Flores a lot, but Schottenheimer, who can't you score on? Who do we struggle against? Those are the type of coordinators we need to go get. And you know why? Our offense is the litmus test. We can run the ball well. We can throw the ball very well. And unless we're injured, we can block pretty well too, pass and run. So if the team gives this team trouble, those are the type of styles or schemes that you probably want to implement, because if you can stop the Cowboys, you can stop anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not cockiness. We're one of the top offenses in the league, and with two great receivers and a good running game and a good offensive line. You know what I mean? So if you can stop the Cowboys and give them trouble, those are the guys we should be looking at. So those are the first places I'm going to look, and then we're going to start building from there in regards to hires. But let me say something else too, man, before we get into it even deeper. Yes, I said that Mozzie Smith was going to get drafted by us, and he got drafted by us, right? Yes, I thought he was going to be better than he was, and he let me down just like he let everybody else down. But why does everybody think that that's my claim to fame or something? The claim to fame is I broke a guy down. The only guys that I broke down were two defensive tackles that year, Jalen Carter and Mozzie Smith, and both of them got drafted by the Cowboys and the Eagles. I mean, that's cool. My claim to fame that year. But I also predicted that Micah Parsons would be drafted here too. He was the only person I broke down that season, that offseason. I don't break down all the college players, but somehow I keep breaking down the only player that we're going to draft, and we end up drafting him every time. It's kind of weird that keep happening. You know what I'm saying? But I must be doing something right, or I must know somebody in the organization. So there is no knock on me when it comes to my misses, because I don't. It's not a miss for me. It's just film. You know what I mean? But um, they keep talking to me about Mozzie as if I give a fuck. I mean, I don't care about that. You know what I mean? I do. I did root for the guy. I do root for the underdog. To me, he was an underdog that I thought could have made something of himself here if given a chance. But at the same time, I'm not going home sad because Mozzie didn't pan out for the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that my work definitely speaks for itself when it comes to how correct I've been when it comes to hires. You guys remember I also knew about Schottenheimer before Schottenheimer became our offensive coordinator. I thought that he would be the obvious hire because he was around, right? So I broke him down and I broke his scheme down, and then we hired him, right? And I'm like, how do I keep doing that? You know what I'm saying? Zimmer, I broke Zimmer down. We hired him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, when I get into this phase, we're going to do it again this year, and we're going to start looking at candidates, and I'll probably find the obvious choice based on deductive reasoning, just good business and watching the things that Jerry is likely to do versus the things I know he absolutely won't do, no matter how much I like the guy, right? So that's what we doing. All right, but let's dig in. Anyway, let's keep going with some comments first. He said, I have a question. Are we second because teams are throwing instead of running because our secondary is bad? That's a good question. But no, I think the Minnesota Vikings ran 25 times, 24, 25 times. So they ran the ball. If you run the ball 25 times and you're not getting anything, and the majority of the runs are 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yards, like half of them are like two yards, and then a couple of them are negative plays. So they're just flat out stopping the run. And then even more so, when a team is able to pass on you, it's a lot easier to run because you can trick guys. Like now you can keep us off balance, and we still stop the run. So no, they're really honestly stopping the run this time. We used to now under Dan Quinn. That's why it's a good question, because under Dan Quinn we did what you call smoke and mirrors. It was a lot of smoke and mirrors, and what I mean by that is under Quinn we used to stop the run because we would get up and then we have a good pass rush. So once we got up offensively and we started to hurt you with our pass rush, you would start trying to pace us or keep pace with us. The teams would, and they would start throwing the ball more. So we were stopping the run by omission, meaning they weren't running the ball. So therefore, you can stop the run. Or our teams couldn't run in the second half when we were giving out 40 burgers every week or every other week. So that's not really stopping the run, honestly. Stopping the run is when you could do it in a close game, all game, and we've been doing that for the last 5 games. So we are stopping the run flat out. He said, I had to agree with old Jerry that Flush should have adjust to the personnel. Yeah, he should. And I think that the writing on the wall for Flush is that he's getting fired based on the fact that Jerry ain't feeling that. I know he's not feeling the BS. He said, don't ever let that BS that happened last night happen again. Did he go tell on you thinking that you didn't know what you were talking about? I don't remember what happened. Who told on me? Somebody told on me? I don't know. I don't remember. But I don't remember. You got to refresh my memory, Paul, because I be here for hours. I don't pay attention to what nobody really doing. It don't make me mad. KAC or KCJ1, what's up? $2. I appreciate it, man. I mean, I appreciate everything. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you send in the super chats, all that good stuff. If you're on here, make sure you hit the like button too and share it. Should Fluss be fired? Why or why not? Yes, he should be fired because you should put him out of his misery. Uh, I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he should still coach in the league, but he needs to go somewhere where they're already ready made and we don't got this clusterfuck waiting for him. I think Fluss, if he would have had this team that he has right now, and I will say that I will go on record and say this, if he had the team that he has today going into training camp, we would not be talking about Fluss being fired. Fluss would have did a great job, I think, because we would have had a strong run stopping front for the entire season, and then we would only have to shore up the secondary, and we would know we were bleeding, right? I think he had, like I said, his equilibrium was off because of the way it started. You can't blame him for how it started. I blame Jerry for that, but you can say at this point, though, there's not much we can do to fix it. You know what I mean? The relationship I think is kind of is damaged both from his standpoint, and I think Shoddy deserves to reap the benefits of what he's doing offensively. You know what I mean? Especially being a first year new coach, he doesn't deserve what happened with Fluss, and neither did Fluss. But it happened for whatever reason. So now that it happened, you know what I mean? Can't do no more about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if your girl cheat because she drunk. Yeah, you was drunk. I understand, but I can't get this picture out of my head. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in jeopardy. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I think somebody must have told on us yesterday, the other night when I went live. That's what you talking about when I was live in the middle of the night. Yeah, they did get me. I don't know. I don't know why. Joseph Jefferson said, Akoye, what up, my guy? What's up, Brody? He said, we got to get back to winning, man. Too much war in the nation right now, LOL. Um, no, I think the war in the nation is warranted. It's good. And it's good to weed out the naysayers and the BSers, man. Because Twitter is not a real place. And everybody is on there talking super crazy. A lot of people I respect start talking crazy too. Like everybody talking crazy. And one thing I do notice, I don't ask for a defense, but I do notice when there is none. You know what I'm saying? Jay Tuck, like I said, I shout out to Jay Tuck, shout out to Cowboy Politics. A few people that come up and be like, hey, man, Akoye ain't one of them. But very few. The rest of them really just sit back and just watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, so I look at it like this. I got a few friends in this industry, but not too many. You know what I mean? And I'm not looking for none. And I think the Cowboys nation is so disgruntled because they don't know how to win. They've been losing so long they expect to lose. And then before you notice, we went the first 4 games, we didn't look very good. People start talking about the draft in week 4, right? Then we start looking good. Then they start talking like Super Bowl by week 11, 12, by after the Raiders game. Oh, we can win a Super Bowl. Then we lose again. Oh man, fire everybody. You know what I'm saying? So when you got that going on, and then it's a bunch of men doing that, I'm like, y'all know, I know y'all play some sort of sports, but in order to think that way, you gotta have no spine. Meaning you never been in the trenches and never understood, like your back was against it, man. Like, and you never climbed out of that. So I mean, it's a new era. Everybody gets a trophy these days, I guess. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the people who think that way need a slap on the wrist and need a wake up call. And they need to put this stuff on tape. So I'm the guy who will get you to put this stuff on wax because you're gonna say it to me or say it at me when we talking. But then I ain't gonna forget it. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it later. Or you're gonna act like you never said it and ignore it when it's time for you to, make good on that. I remember arguing that Micah Parsons was a better pass rusher than D Law when he first started in that Chargers game. Everybody laughed at me on Twitter and all. Everybody. Now when I say Micah Parsons should have been a linebacker, they like, oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I don't know nothing now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not slow, bro. I pay attention to all that. So trust me, it's not too much war. It's weeding out the weak. The weak need to go. If you that weak as a fan where every week you up and down, you're taking the rest of the fans up and down with you, and you're creating instability, which makes my job harder. Because now when I just do the work, because y'all think I'm breaking down Murray every week because he's my favorite player or something. I do like the guy now that I watched so much film of him. Y'all made me like him. But I wasn't breaking him down every week for that. Every week somebody at me and showed me something viral saying that he's trash. And I'm like, yo, we not losing up front. That's not our problem anymore. We had some games early, yeah, but that's not our problem now. So why are we talking about that? Yeah. He said, now you want to take your ball. Yeah, that's facts. She took a ball and went home after we played dodgeball, man. I'm like, damn, I thought we was throwing insults at each other and you was cool with it because we was doing that. He said 2 rookie guards ran over our $100 million defensive tackle room in the Lions game. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They ran over somebody. They ran over an $80 million defensive tackle. Just one. They ran over Osa Odigizua. But even when you say ran over, these are the things that I'm talking about. I'm glad you said this, right? Because these are the things that I'm talking about when people get things out of context. The Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, who's killed a lot of good teams this year, right? On the ground. He had 43 yards on the ground. His damage that he did against us came at wide receiver. He had 77 yards in the air. That's where Jahmyr Gibbs ate. He did not eat us alive on the ground. Pause. And then Montgomery had 12 carries, I think, for 60 yards. But guess what? 11 of those carries resulted in 30 yards, or less than 30. 25 yards on 11 carries, okay? He was averaging 2 yards a carry until he got a 35-yard run against us. And again, that was another one against your boy Osa. You know what I'm saying? So they still collectively only got 103 yards between Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. And they ran the ball a lot. I think they ran the ball like 25 times between the two of them or more. So that's pretty damn good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you said our $100 million defensive tackle room, they never ran successfully almost anywhere when Quentin Williams or Kenny Clark was on the field. True story. They ran at Osa. So you could say they ran at our $80 million man. So you're about 20 million off, and you forgot that it's not the room. It was just one guy. So when we say things like that, though, someone else will say that, like a content creator will say that, and then everybody else will say, throw the whole room away. And now we got to start from scratch. Like Quentin Williams ain't good. Like now Kenny Clark ain't somebody you want to keep. You know what I'm saying? No. Osa was the only issue in that game. And I can show you. I'll show you that because I think I still got that. I can show that. Let me see. Lions game. Vikings Shiesty. That's the Pooh Shiesty, Joe. Boom. That's boxing. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Is this the breakdown? Yeah, this is one. All right. Let's watch this again because I'm glad you said that. Pay attention to the patterns, bro. Okay? This is all secondary talk. I was actually talking about the secondary because that's what I want to talk about. But nobody want to talk about the secondary. Everybody want to talk about these linebackers and this front seven. Do you see that right there though? That there's no one there. There's no one behind, no one in front of Wilson, right? That's because both Solomon Thomas and Osa are pancaked. They're on the ground. All right. So I'm not mad at Sam Williams for missing this tackle or Wilson or Murray for that matter at the end of it. Right. Boom. Here, this play here, everybody talked about. They said Murray. And this is why I did this breakdown on the Lions, because everybody showed me this play. They said that Murray jumped into the wrong gap, not understanding what Murray was asked to do here, which was get into his gap, which is the B gap to the right. Right. And right now, because Osa, if you're watching Osa's going to get washed out of there pretty bad, as you can see. And when he did, Murray lost his line of sight on the running back. So he did what he's supposed to do, which is get to your gap and do your job and then worry about the next man's job later. Now, we say do your job is the way until somebody gives up a play and then we say, oh, no, be a hero again. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But that's one play. So we already counted one, which is a 35-yarder right here. So this is more than half of Montgomery's whole day of yardage, right? That's more than half of it on one play. But we can keep going. This is Solomon Thomas here. Get him knocked out of there again. I don't see Quentin Williams or Kenny Clark getting moved like that. They're not getting moved at all. But when you see Osa and Solomon Thomas out there, this is what was happening to them. So when you say that these guys were the ones getting killed or cooked, you're inaccurate there, but I do respect your opinion. You know what I'm saying? 805 on. This is why you show up here, though, right? Because we're gonna watch the film together and learn it together. But who's getting knocked out of there right now? This is when Quentin Williams and them was on the field, right? How did they attack that? They didn't run right at them. Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark on the field. Where did they run? Off tackle. Now they're holding up. They held up and they freed up Demo. And obviously, right there, I froze it here. Why? Because watch what happens to Reddy Stewart right there. That's all the refs right there. This run shouldn't even count because that's literally a blocking. I mean, there's no other way to say blocking the back other that's a block in the back. Yeah, clearly. You know what I'm saying? But either way, that happened. That happened. Then Demo got cooked out of his shoes right there, almost tore his other ACLs. He got three of them now. Anyway, boom. This was a downhill run, but look when Kenny Clark is on the field, everybody can kind of rally to the ball. At that time, Murray got there, but when Kenny Clark or Quentin Williams on the field, now Quentin Williams is on the field. Look at Quentin Williams; he's holding his position. Look where Ezra Rocco is. Look where these guys are. You know what I'm saying? Now watch your guy, Osa. He's going to get knocked out of there. So this is what was happening in that entire game, and why uh, the team looks bad when one guy can't do his job correctly. You know what I'm saying? But let me get this film off here because that's not why we're here. So let me get back over here. Boom. But that's just to prove my point when we were talking, right? Um, he said, F the Cowboys fly, Eagles fly. What's up, man? You're allowed to say what you want here, I guess, man. Cowboys suck, all that good stuff, man. I'm glad you feel that way. You know what I mean? Your quarterback is trash, though, right now. You know what I mean? He won a Super Bowl, though, so I can't take nothing away from that. You won a Super Bowl. He was a Super Bowl MVP, but he played like a college ball player, man. You gotta get it together. What do you think Detroit's about Detroit's old coach? I like his defensive scheme. Who was their old defensive coordinator? Oh, you mean Patricia? Matt Patricia? If that's who you're talking about, I like him. Hold on, somebody calling me. Hold on. Hello? Hey, Sadiqa, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. I see that super chat too. I'm about to say something about it. You oh, he's about to curse me out, huh? I don't want no trouble. I don't want no, they think I'm a chauvinist now. So it's like, I don't want no trouble. I got you. They upstairs. I got you. Next time I look like a dude with them glasses, though. I don't even like wearing them. You know what I mean? All right. You right. You right. You right. All right. I got you. All right. All right. I'm gonna wear them. I'm gonna wear them. I got you. All right. I'm gonna get back on. Thank you. Shout out to Sadiqa, man. That's the homie. He said, they call me Chief. He said, Akoye on it. Let me get to these super chats. Thanks, Megatwan. He said, late just came in, just saying, what up, big bro? What up, bro? How you doing, man? We gotta catch up too. You gotta get to Philly again, man, so we can rap. Fam, Eberflus is running game day 97 plays with Tecmo Bowl scheme. That's fact. Said Trayvon needs to go. Yeah, I want a dog at corner right now. Like, I like Trayvon's skill set, but he got to be a little more evil. I think he's too soft right now. He too emotional. Because if you really love the game, you ain't gonna let none of this BS that's happened keep you out. You ain't gonna sit down. So you got players that love money. You got players that love the game. Like I used to have bartenders. I tell them like some of y'all about your papers, some of y'all, is here for the fame. The one that was here for the ones that was there for the fame didn't make no money. They didn't make me no money, and they would always end up, dating one of the customers or something like that. You know what I mean? The ones that was about their bread, they were sharks. They would make money. You know what I'm saying? They registered was ringing. It's not a real stream if you're not squinting. That's a fact. That's a fact. Cat Diggs needs to be here. Nobody got better under this coach. Nobody. Yeah, but he gotta want it. Like Diggs don't want to be on the field though, Megatwan. That's my problem with him. It's not that he bad. I don't think Diggs regressed. I think he's not showing me he want to be here. I want to see you fighting to get on the field. Send Trayvon to the Packers with his boyfriend. Oh man. He said facts, Tweezy. Glad to catch you. Akoye like Yoda. I do got my Yoda hoodie on. He said, I'm so used to us beating ourselves either by personnel or coaching. One day we be back. Yeah, we got ourselves out the playoffs this year. Should have beat Green Bay. Should have beat, well, we did beat the Giants, but we should have beat Green Bay. I think Chicago was a winnable game. I think Detroit was a very winnable game. I think that the Minnesota winnable. Every game that we've been in, it was us that was doing things that got us out of here. I think that if we can stop, just stop turning the ball over and stop shooting ourselves in the foot at times, at the wrong times, and get the ball back to this high powered offense more, I think we'll be very hard to beat for anybody. And I like the fact that we can stop the run flat out now, though. He said Trayvon called Dak a bitch at training camp. I mean, that's part of it, man. You have I spar guys. They talk crazy when you sparring. Like they'll be whispering stuff in your ear. Pause, but they'll be whispering crazy shit to you or talking trash to you while you're in there fighting. That's just part of camaraderie and part of competition. That's just how guys are. Fans will destroy this team. Everyone needs to go. Let the fans decide. Yeah, they would say everybody need to go. He said, I really have to start going live. You can jump on live whenever you want. You can jump on now. You want to? I'll send you a link, Lou. You gotta let me know, man. He said, I saw your breakdown with Boss. Super dope. I appreciate that, man. I got some more. But yeah, I'm glad people who watch it they don't argue with me because I get to show you the things that will make me say something as crazy as Kenneth Murray isn't horrible. Now, if you just watch him versus the run, or you just watch the one clip that he does wrong each week, you could do that with anybody. If I just watch one bad rep every week and I put that on wax, but I don't put the whole game up there, everybody gonna look horrible. Quentin Williams gave up a touchdown last week, got knocked out of his gap, right? Is he horrible? No. I'm not saying that Kenneth Murray's on Quentin Williams' level. I'm just saying people who watch why I'm saying what I'm saying. And a lot of the things that Murray doesn't get the credit for is his coverage, which you're never going to see in broadcast, because if he's doing his job in coverage, you will never see him because they're not going to throw the ball at him. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I want to show y'all something since we talking about that. Watch this. Watch this. Kelsey, I was doing the secondary film for the season. I'm doing the evaluation. Oh, hold on, let me escape from that. Boom. Kelsey was giving these guys work. Now, first play, you see, even this play, right? So this first play when you're watching K9 or you watching Kenneth Murray, this is the best coverage that Kelsey got all night, right? Even though he gave up a touchdown, that was the tightest coverage that he got all day, is when Kenneth Murray was on him. Even that is like, look here. That's if that's covered. He just didn't get his hands up because Kelsey yanked him down. But no excuses. He should have broke this play up, right? But this got him taken off the field, right? And they put Wilson in after this, or after this one, I think. No, they put Wilson in right here. Yep, they put Wilson in. Now, Kenneth Murray gave up a 1 yard touchdown to Kelsey. That is it. That's all he gave up as far as passes in coverage. That's it. Whole game. A touchdown for 1 yard, right? Boom. That was covered. Logan Wilson is in the middle of the field. And they keep saying, why am I not arguing for him to get on the field? It's because he is better versus run, but versus pass, he can be had still. Even though he's a coverage backer too, he's not as good in coverage as Kenneth Murray. And I know when I say that to the wrong person, they're gonna curse me out because they're not watching the film. But watch this rub route. So they're doing a rub screen to Wilson right there. He gave about 23 yards on that play. Boom. And it looked like he's struggling to get back in position once he's out of position. See that? Boom. Here. Boom. See that? Real quick. I'm trying to do this quick before they strike me, so this isn't very long. Right there. Very next series, right? Boom. Kelsey cut him up again. Boom. Killing him. He was cooking him. That's for 15 yards. So he gave up about 37 yards already on 2 plays. Boom. Quick, real quick. This play had nothing to do with him. This is just to show you what Kelsey was doing to everybody not named Murray. Watch what he did to Hooker here. This is Hooker guarding him there. So watch, he going in and out Hooker so bad. So Hooker's at the top of the screen to the left. Boom, boom, in and out. Ew, killed him. Hooker done, right? Cooked him. You see the separation? Cooked Hooker. So they kept playing musical chairs because they didn't want to put him back on him. He tries it here, boom. Right there, that would have been an interception right there had he thrown it to Kelsey this time, right? But right here, you see Kenneth Murray is going to cover him on this next play right here. He's covering Kelsey at the bottom of the screen. Watch this. Boom. Kelsey going to try to in and out him right there. He baits him and then runs off his hip. That would have been an interception had he thrown the ball at him. Watch this. Boom. This would have been crazy had he thrown the ball at him. But the only guy that covered Kelsey well all night was Kenneth Murray. Here. Now, Kenneth Murray can make this play. Now, you watch Logan Wilson here in the middle of the field. Cooked. Why is nobody saying anything about these, though? I'm like, I didn't even know it happened. I'm like, didn't that happen? Why I don't see that on film every week? I don't see none of that. You know what I'm saying? You see Marquise Bell covered him well there, too. I had to throw that in there down the sideline. Marquise Bell's up the sideline on this play. Let me show you. Not this play, but next play. Oh, this is the last play, actually. So let me get back to it. Right here, Marquise Bell's covering pretty well on this play. Kelsey up the sideline. Boom. He did a good job there. Here, Bridges gonna fall. Boom. Bridges fell in the middle of the field right there. Look at the star. Bridges fell right there. Boom. Got cooked. So bad. It was about Worley. Got cooked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get this off here before they get me. But I say all that to say the secondary is clearly the issue in these games. And as far as coverage is concerned, the reason I was speaking up for Murray is because of the level of coverage that I was seeing and I was getting. All right, hold on a second. Let me get to these super chats because I know Sadiqa gonna call me again. Sadiqa said, Akoye, I see Akoye, I'm your friend. You got your super chat back. Yes, I do appreciate it. And you've been looking out, Sadiqa. So thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Hit that like button. I only got 30 likes, they said. I don't know. It's only 49 of y'all on here. That's more than half. That's pretty good. But make sure you're hitting the like button. He said, Akoye, if you get a fighter that has been good doing the things he does, would you get that fighter and sharpen what he does best or change him? My opinion, Fluss has done that with the secondary. My work, but not our guys. That's facts. True. I have seen fighters do that. I've had fighters that have been like that too, right? That really have. But what I do is try to teach them to deliver their poison a little bit better. Like if you got a good right hand, I'm not about to, like Deontay Wilder, for instance. He got Malik Scott, who's from Philly. Shout out to Malik Scott. But that was his new coach for the last 2 or 3 fights. Malik Scott tried to turn Deontay Wilder into a boxer. And you're right, he did screw him up because he didn't teach him how to do what he does best. When all you needed to do with him is teach him how to deliver his poison and fight his fight better. So you're right with that. Alex Mata said, hey, bro, why did we stop doing 5-man fronts? I don't get why we can't play that and like a big nickel behind it. K9 covers well, and you can't really run on us in that front. That's very true. Detroit did a good job with their sub packages and getting us out of that. And I think once Detroit did it, other teams will come out and try. I mean, obviously, the only other team was Minnesota, but I got to see what Minnesota was doing versus the pass. But teams have come out and will come out now and try to bring out 2 back schemes, 3 tight end schemes, things like that, that will try to get us into a nickel or some other package where we're thinking pass, right? And when we get into those looks, they then will run on us. They'll try to run at that. That's what happened in Detroit. Detroit really didn't get that many yards doing it, but that's what was happening. Not on the ground anyway. Because I don't think he seen mine yesterday also. Your super chat, thank you, man. I got to get better at it. I'm so used to not having it, I don't really look for him. You know what I'm saying? My bad. He only see film. I know that I needed to get on them super fast, man. That's probably why I don't get no goddamn super chats. I don't look over there. Akoye, you are the only person to consistently point out how poor the secondary has been. The whole room is injured, but Fluss can't control that. Then Diggs slipping on the field and concussed at home. Little crazy, right? You true to the game with that. If Eberflus is out, do you think there's a chance Diggs stays? Yep, I think so. Diggs is not going anywhere. I think if Eberflus is going, I think Jerry knows what he has in Diggs. So I think if Eberflus does go, it is a chance that Jerry may retain Diggs, but they're going to have a come to Jesus moment. I don't think that Eberflus wants Diggs to play. Really, I don't. Because of what he says about him. If he wanted him to play, you remember when Zimmer said, we need noses. He said it at the podium. if Eberflus had a heart, had some heart, he would say, "Hey, I need Diggs," even though he's, he don't say that. He don't speak up and say none of that. What kind of defensive coordinator you think we need for our personnel? I'll get to that Slim Dun Dada in 1 second. My daughter calls me Don Don Dada, so that's funny that you got that name. Um, who do you want as a defensive coordinator next year? So I guess I can answer both your questions with this one. Um, I want a coordinator. This is my daughter, right? Ain't that funny? What's up, Lee? Okay, here I come. I just said your name a second ago. Here I come. Okay, I'm on live right now. Cause somebody name on here is Slim Dundada, and I said my daughter called me Don Dundada, and then right after that you called me. You must have heard me. But all right, I'm coming up there. I'll help you in homework in a second. All right. Oh well. All right, I got you. All right, I'm on live. Stop. All right. That's crazy. As soon as I said that, she called me. I gotta go help her with her homework in about 20, 30 minutes, man. Um, he said, okay, we were talking about defense coordinators. I want a coordinator who is, gutsy. I looked at Flores. Me and Boss looked at Flores yesterday. Flores' contract is up, and Minnesota's not winning, so maybe they do let Flores go. But I doubt it because I mean, that's not the sore spot of their team. I think they have a quarterback issue, not a defensive coordinator issue. Now, if they don't re-sign Flores, I would definitely want him here. I don't think Jerry does that though. I think he will go for wisdom in this case. And I think now that he gave Brian Schottenheimer Eberflus. I think it's only right that now that Eberflus has failed, Jerry's way has failed, then you should give Brian Schottenheimer an opportunity to do that and to go out and get one. And what I would say he would look for in a coordinator is somebody who gives him problems. I said this a little earlier, but I think somebody who gives this offense problems this season would like that's available or a scheme that is similar to that is what he's going to go after. But I definitely know we need to blitz more. Al Harris, I mean, I wish we'd have kept that guy because he's not going anywhere now. He's doing well over in Chicago, but Al Harris would have been my number one pick. You know what I mean? And I think whoever this guy is that comes in, if you retain this front seven, you go get a guy that has a secondary mindset that thinks like a corner, not like a defensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? We have a good front and a good front seven. Even if some of those guys leave, you have some pieces there that you can build around in the draft and in the free agency. So even though if I'm going in free agency, I'm going to sign my own guys. Like when they say we like our guys, I like our guys in the front seven. I don't care what anybody says about the linebacker room. Like I said, if you have this linebacker core and you don't have Marquise Bell, LV, and J. Ron Kurtz playing linebacker, and you got linebackers that can help you rank second in the league versus the run with Quentin Williams' addition, I think you build on that and you rotate the right guys in there. Like Morris Leofile does not need to leave the field for any run plays whatsoever. He's our best run defending linebacker outside. Well, even better than I would say Demo. Demo is your best will. Morris Leofile can play Mike or Will. And I say he's your best because he can run through a block, he can run around the block, and he always goes after the ball. So he just needs to tackle better. That's his problem. He's too wild. He doesn't break down when it's time to tackle because he runs like his hair's on fire. Whereas even though Demo runs like his hair's on fire as well, he is a little bit more controlled in the way he approaches pursuit angles. But appreciate the super chat. I would like to see Al Harris, Bones, and White Cotton as our defensive coaches. I wouldn't mind White Cotton being an interim at right now. Like fire, fire Eberflus and just let White Cotton take it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Or I wouldn't mind I have to see who's available before I can really give you a coach evals. And then I guarantee you, once I see that, I can kind of understand like what this team is personnel wise and who fits it. But I would need to look first. I honestly wouldn't mind going back and getting Zim again if Zim wanted to get off the couch. I think Zim wants to be a head coach, and but Zim could definitely coach this team very well. And I like what he did with Demo to a point where Demo, people think he regressed. He didn't. Demo's playing just fine. He's just not being used the same way anymore. But I think Demo needs to be in the backfield a lot more like he was under Zimmer. Okoye, what do you think of this year's rookies for Shotty's first draft? I like Revel. I love Booker. Um, who else we got? We got Revel, Booker, Blue. Blue's disappointing. Um, who else did we get as a rookie? I don't know who else we got. Who else did we get? Our first round draft pick was who? I don't even remember this shit no more. Um, who? Oh, Ezeraku. Love Ezeraku. He's a second round draft pick. Booker was our first round draft pick. Third round was don't remember. Fifth round was Shamar James. Don't like him very much. I think Shamar James is tight in the hips and changes directions too slow. And if you're slow to change directions, you need to be faster at reading and assessing. So maybe he'll be better when he understands the defense that he's in for a full off season, and maybe he can read and make plays faster. Plus, I don't know, did he have a knee injury in college? Because if he did, I'm not so mad at his change of direction. Maybe he needs another year to heal, but he runs like something's wrong with his legs. So I don't really like Shamar James that much. But the guys who I do love is our first and second round draft picks. Ezeraku and Booker, love those guys. Blue, not so hype on, and James, not so high on. Um, who else do we have? Y'all guys got to list the rest of them so that I'm not like guessing anymore. Hold on a second. Let me read some more. But yeah, put some more down here. Ezzy, yeah, Ezzy I already talked about. I love Ezeraku. I think Ezeraku is another guy that, next year he will play faster. He'll be a little bit better because he got tricked a lot this season, but you can see the effort and you can see the tenacity. I don't know how many sacks he has, but I like Ezzy. Film studies are the best at night. Glad you back at it, Akoye. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I don't think I'm going nowhere this time. Yes, I was going to bring that up. You was talking about the coaches, I guess. I got you, Sadiqa. K9 is a man fighting for his respect. This fan base has been trying to jump him all season. I don't got a problem with people not liking a player. I got a problem if you keep blaming a guy, even when it's not. That means you're trying to scapegoat. If you blame him after the Detroit loss, what did he do? Nothing. If you blame him after the Minnesota loss, what did he do? Nothing. He did this. He did more in those games actually than he did in the wins. When you look at KC game, he didn't get many reps because they did what y'all wanted him to do, which is put Logan Wilson in. And Logan Wilson got cooked for almost 100 yards and a touchdown, and nobody said nothing. They said, we want to see more of him. I said, what? K9 ain't did that all year. All year. All year. That was wild to me. I said, damn, y'all really crazy. People crazy. He didn't give up 100 yards all year. 80 yards, none of that. Like every once in a while, you get beat on the screen pass and, doesn't run through the block correctly, but then he'll correct it. You know what I'm saying? He'll fix it. But by the next time you see that look, he'll get it right. Plus, don't want Diggs to play, just like I think they released Al Harris and Bones because of Fluss. Yeah, probably. And that was dumb. He said, who is K9? K9 is Kenneth Murray. They call him K9. That's what Brian Schottenheimer call him. Akoye, how do you feel about Josh Butler about to play? I like Josh Butler. I like Josh Butler a lot. I do. My top pick would probably be Van Joseph. But Van Joseph is not going to make a lateral move. That's why I don't think that happens. I would love that too. But if he leaves Denver, it's not going to be a defensive coordinator for Dallas. If he leaves Denver, it's going to be to have a head coaching position. Otherwise, why would you leave? You already having success. If you don't want to be a head, I want a head coach. I want a coordinator like Eberflus, meaning someone who's had their shot as a head coach already, who knows that I don't want to be a head coach anymore. I just want to do what I do best. Like your Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau went to Detroit, didn't look good, came back to Pittsburgh, stayed in Pittsburgh till he retired. Dom Capers, same thing. Went to Green Bay, stayed in Green Bay till he retired. Jimmy Johnson from the Eagles back in the day. I don't know if he was ever a head coach, but I know he stayed with the Eagles for a long ass time because Andy Reid is loyal to his staff like he is with Spagnuolo. But I want those type of guys. I want a guy who wants to be a defensive coordinator. Like Eberflus doesn't mind being one, right? I want a guy who wants to just do that the rest of his career, right? So that's why I was high on Eberflus because and Zimmer, guys who have had that experience. Rex Ryan, guys who've had that experience because I don't want a guy that's going to have success one year and then next year we got to go find a new one. Like, the Eagles with their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, right? He left for a head coaching position. Or Ben Johnson I don't want that type of problem. I want a guy who wants to be a defensive coordinator. That's all he want to be, and he wants to be here. That's what I want. Now I have to look at different schemes to figure out who that guy is, but that's what I want as far as the mental makeup for the head coach. I mean, for the defensive coordinator, he got to be an asshole too. You got to be an asshole. You got to be an asshole. Wacko Vaughn. I don't blame 59 for everything. I don't like him against the run. Um, okay. I'll bite. I'll bite in a second. I'll show you some plays, and then you can tell me, which games you didn't like him versus the run too. You can say that, and then because I don't want to just jump all over the place. So you can say which games you didn't like him versus the run, and we can look at it. Okay. I do know they do weird things with him though, so sometimes it confuses me. Like in the KC game, they do something different with him. He's like an X factor player for Eberflus. They do something different with him every game because in the KC game you would see that he wasn't following. He like if they ran off tackle away from him, he wouldn't move. I'm like, why not? But he was guarding Kelsey the whole game. Like, so they had him watching Kelsey just in case Kelsey blocked and released and got out there. They just said, just watch him no matter what. And they were just stopping the run with their front six um instead of using K9 on those plays. So in that game, I would say, oh, he didn't have much to do. He didn't have an assignment versus run. He was really in coverage, even on run plays. He's in coverage. Like they treated him like a corner because they said you just follow this guy no matter what, even if he's blocking and release, follow him anyway. So that's why Kelsey got quiet after that early touchdown. People forget Wilson was benched for the rookie night. Yeah, Logan Wilson got benched. Yep. The blue was a mistake. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Revel. Yep. And 3. Toia. I don't like Toia. I think he's just fat. No offense to fat people. I was fat, but I don't like Toia. Mafa, I like, but where the hell is he? I think he's hurt or something, but I don't know why he don't play. Mafa looked good in preseason. Yep. Yep. But yeah, I like those guys. I like Mafa. I liked Ezeraku, and I like Booker. So, I mean, to me, that's you're not going to hit 100% on your draft, but I mean, I guess that's 50-50. I think we drafted 6 guys. I like them. Okay, Okoye, James had a dislocated kneecap on in 2023. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe that's what's wrong because he runs like it. He does. Hold on. Boom. Arizona or Tampa Bay head coach for defensive coordinator both going to get fired at the end of the season or poach someone from San Fran staff. Zim ain't coming back because he ain't a head coach. Oh, damn. All right. I think that I don't know. I would have to look at I know Todd Bowles is not gonna be no defensive coordinator over here. I don't want another cover 2 guy here at all. Right. I don't. Appreciate the super chat though. Akoye James, yeah, you told me that. All right. Just curious. What's the love for San Fran coaches? They went what's the name? Salah. Salah's over there. I like Salah, the dude that used to coach the Jets. He's the type of coach. That's what I mean when I say a guy that wants to be a defensive coordinator. He had his time with the New York Jets. He went back to San Fran where he made his name, and now he'll probably stay there a while. You know what I mean? I hope. He said, "I wish we can get Wink for real, for real." Where's Wink Martindale? I like Wink Martindale too. Where is he? What's he doing these days? Jim Shorts for a defensive coordinator from Cleveland Browns. I love the Cleveland Browns defense overall. I love their defense overall. Right. Right. Anyway, been up here an hour for y'all, right? As I said, I've been waiting for disagreements. Nobody from Twitter will dare jump on here and say nothing. I don't know why. I mean, they got so much mouth on there, but nobody's saying nothing, man. Cowboy Politics, appreciate you. He said, you say a lot of what I have in my notes when I watch film. You are one of the few guys I can listen to about ball without bias. You are one of the reasons why I started back studying film. Yo, that definitely hit home when you say things like that, man. I appreciate that. Definitely honored to hear that. And for those who think that I'm the guy on Twitter, you know how I am. Most content creators who are in this space, a lot of the ones that you guys see today, I don't have to name names. They know who they are, but a lot of them came through me, and I help a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And I have no problem helping anybody and not trying to be like elite because a lot of them helped me. Law helped me a lot. Vach did too in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Foots as well, like as far as and then Tyson West Coast Cowboy man helped me out a lot too. 'Cause as far as not snapping, I used to be tripping every time I got on the mic. I would be like talking over people. It was like a water cooler argument when I first started doing content. The way you see me on Twitter is the way I was on in video before. And those guys polished me and helped me get right. Mark Holmes too, in his own way. Like me and Mark Holmes used to do shows and stuff like that too. So a lot of these guys helped me, and I help a lot of people that's behind me as well. But I've heard that. I've heard people say, "Man, I argue with you." I think Boss told me that. He's, "I argue with you one time on West Coast Cowboy Channel." And then I said, "You told me, hey, show me in the film." And I said, "All right." He said, "All right," and went and got the film and said, "All right, I'm gonna get it cracking." So there's a lot of that goes on in the space. But anybody who know me know I've helped out a lot of content creators. So I don't hate on nothing or nobody. It's not hate when I'll even critique those guys, but they know I'm not hating. I don't want their spot. I want to be right where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I ain't gonna criticize you or say something about what you're saying. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate that, Cowboy politics, and let's definitely jump on and do some work, man. I don't got no problem doing shows and all that. Let's do them. I'm gonna be very busy going live the rest of this season and the off season. Honestly, I don't like Fluss. I think he doesn't understand the skill set of disguise and scheme for them. Instead, he tries to make them fit his scheme. Yeah, he don't disguise. I don't like no coach that doesn't disguise, whether it's offensive or defensive. You better go in motion if you're an offensive coordinator. You better change formations if you're an offensive coordinator and give your quarterback the opportunity to audible at the line of scrimmage based off of what he sees and trusts. And defense, same thing. Disguise it so that these guys get a leg up. If the quarterback has to be a good post snap quarterback to beat you, that's all the better. That's all the better. Because if he has to be good post snap, that means he has less time to assess what you're doing. But if I know what you're doing before the snap, they know what you're doing before the snap. And if it's that easy to see, then you're never going to win in this league if it's that simple. Unless you're like Zimmer, where everything looks the same, but he's doing different things out of it. His disguise is no disguise. Zimmer does double A gap pressure looks all day long. And then sometimes he's blitzing, sometimes he ain't. So that's his disguise. His is just one thing. You're gonna see this all game. It looks a lot like Flores' defense, actually. But you're gonna see this all game, and then boom, you're gonna be sacked on your ass. So I get that. But that's how you trick veteran quarterbacks. He was in a division with Aaron Rodgers for a long time. So making everything looks the same is why Zimmer was successful. Because if you try to disguise too much against a guy who knows how to like pick things apart, he's just gonna beat you, right? So you gotta be strategic with your disguises, but I don't like a coordinator that doesn't disguise at all and plays off. Like we got press man cover corners, and we never impress man. That don't make any sense. I want a coordinator that can have his starters and still produce. That can not have his starters and still produce. I mean, there's not too many that can't have that will lose their entire second starting secondary. I mean, Wilson was gone, Hooker was gone, Bland was in and out in the he's gone in the beginning. Diggs has not been there. So three of your starting secondary players are not here for the whole season. That's hard to overcome. So I'm not hating. Like I said, I don't hate Fluss. I think Fluss is a good coach. He just needs to go to a better situation, go somewhere else, and give us somebody that's a fresh eye here. But I don't hate. I'm not going to jump on the I hate Fluss bandwagon because, at the end of the day, I thought he was a good coach on film before he came here, and I thought he was a good coach on film in with the Colts as well. Those teams look good enough to get him the head coaching position over with Chicago. So he didn't just forget how to do that. And also, Jalen Johnson had the same problem as Diggs when he first got with Fluss. He didn't like him. So did Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith hated him, so he traded him. You know what I'm saying? Then he got Edmonds, and they started playing better. You know what I mean? In 2023, Jalen Johnson, when he finally started listening to him and playing within the system, had his best career year thus far. That's his best year. You know what I'm saying? So I think he gave him like 279 yards that whole season and like one touchdown or something like that. He was killing it. The league caught up the Flusser scheme. I don't think so. I think we didn't have the talent that we have right now uh, early in the year. College program, Georgia, think he the head coach over here. Uh, Maybe. I don't know. Sadiqa said, "Go help your daughter." Yeah, I gotta go help with homework in a second. And me and my homeboys look for your film breakdowns. Can you show 59 against NFC North teams? Those are the games I see clips of. I don't know, maybe only showing bad plays. They are showing bad plays. I will do that before I get off here. Akoye, your daughter is waiting on you. I got her, Sadiqa. Trust me, I got her. I'm on it. Why Brunson was like break down Dak because he was mad you broke down Hurts. No, he was talking shit. So I said, let's break down both quarterbacks. How about that? Because he said Dak was playing like trash. That's my guy though. I like Brunson. We both from the same places. And honestly, when we was going at it, we went at each other a couple times before I knew that we was damn near family. Like a guy that's like a brother to me was married to his sister for real. I said, damn, your sister was married to E. I didn't know he was that close to family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we actually okay. But yeah, it was me talking trash to him, trying to get him up here because he don't want me to break down Hurts because he knows it's gonna be bad. He don't want to see that. So that's why he trying to jump away from it. You know what I mean? He knows it's gonna be bad. He said, why Brunson? Yeah, you already asked. I think you asked that twice. Yep. I was going to make a point about the Bears defense that shut down the Rams in 2018. Same year they ran 300 on us, but that was Vandio's defense. Yeah, that was Vic Vandio. Hey, Akoye, Laura Brunson live. A Laura Brunson live would be dope. Yeah, yeah. I would. We'll do it. You know what I mean? We've done it before. You know, we've done it before. We'll do it again. All right. So you said you want to see the AFC North teams or him versus the run in those games. This game is against Chicago, so let's watch this one. This first play. Let me see what play this is. Okay. So this first play, everybody showed this play, right? And they said that he was wrong on this play. He played bad this play. Spying, when you see spying, that is Kenneth Murray Jr. spying right there. And I'm talking to Wacko Vaughn because you wanted to see some AFC NFC North teams, right? So he's spying right here, right? He's not covering Swift on the screen. That's not his responsibility here. Maybe it should have been. Maybe you should have called something other than spy, but he's spying. He's not watching Swift at all, right? So let's watch what Swift does out of the backfield. Swift is that arrow that's in the backfield. Let me just skip forward a little bit because I guess all right, there we go. Boom. So Swift is there. He's spying. You see, his first step is towards the quarterback, not towards Swift. He recognizes the screen late. So that is K-Dog or K9 right there. Boom. Chasing this, right? Now, he can see in front of Swift is Clark right there. He sees that, and instead of laying out and I guess breaking his neck or hitting him, he should have hit him, I think. But instead of laying out, K9 lets up because he thinks Clark is about to hit him. Clark just olays. Clark just got out of the way. Everybody, hold on, let me go back again. Everybody came at K9 for this, right? I said, wait a minute. Why did nobody come at? This is why Clark doesn't play after this game. Clark wasn't starting anymore, not K9, because he was supposed to make this tackle and he didn't. He just let him. He's waiting for the assist, like I said, and then Clark wanted no parts of this. He didn't touch him. He didn't try to touch him. One of you two should have laid out, and neither one did because I guess the one is thinking the other would or whatever, right? But neither one of them tackled him. So he caught a lot of flack for that play by myself and other content creators. But that was the one play that I looked at in that he said what number is K9? 59. 59, Sadiqa. That play I looked at and said, all right, yeah, that was come on, man, get it together. All right, this play here. He's spying opposite hash. His assignment, though, just like it was on the last one, is to spy, right? Now he sees Swift on this play and sneaks out there. I think early in the game they saw this, and that's why they got that screen pass against him. Because they said, oh, he's spying and trying to cover the flats at the same time. Because that's what he was doing here, spying and covering the flats. So that's how he got caught on that screen pass. They saw that, they game plan for it. But he ran out there and made that tackle. That's a very difficult play to make. And these are the type of plays that I do like from K9 because he covers a lot of ground. To occupy the quarterback and then run in space and make this play before it gets anywhere for like a 4-yard gain, that's not easy. And I'm going to show you more of this. Okay. Here, this is nothing to do with him. Let me see if I got some runs. Okay, I want some more runs for you, or a play that has something to do with it. Let's see. This is a run play, maybe. All right, K9's in the middle of the field. Let's see what this looks like. Boom. That's pass. That's that same play we were just looking at. That's not it. Okay, let me get you some more. All right, this was the second screen. After that first screen, he recognized what's going on. And all I ask you to do is just adjust to how they're guarding you. There is nobody, and you can't see up the field, but there's nobody behind K9 on this side of the field right now. This is a good play. I wouldn't say great, but it's a good play because nobody blocked him. I said it was a good play. It would have been great if he had to shed the block, but it was a good play because nobody was behind him on that play. And I was just like, yo, if he misses that tackle, it's a problem. I got more film for you though, so hold on a second. I'm gonna keep going because you said you wanted some AFC North. Um, Green Bay game. Let me see if I don't think I could show the Green Bay game, but I will show some 3-4 look. The reason I say I can't show the Green Bay game is because I didn't cut it up. Let me see. Let me see. More defense. Let me see if this one is one. All right, I think this is the Green Bay game. And I don't have this cut up, but I have to get this off the screen quicker because they will strike me. Boom. Right there. All right. So immediately in the beginning of the game, I don't even know what's happening here because I haven't cut this up. But this is when I was evaluating Sanborn. But let's watch 59 here. What's his job? Turn his back inside to your help. What does he do? Boom. Meet the blocker, turn it back inside to his help, and they make the play. Well, they say he's not physical. That's why I argue that, I've seen him be physical in these games. That was a blitz there by K9. Yeah, that was a blitz by K9. That was almost a pick six by Bland there. Let me see if we got anything that I can look at from K9 in this game before. And let me see. Boom. That one there, I wanted him to get a little more depth, but that wasn't his assignment. Here, he's playing the slant. Right now, he's occupying the slant and that drag route right there. He's in the stream for both of those. And they threw the ball right over his head, right behind him. Right. So they were gaming him on that play, but still wasn't his fault. He was doing what he's supposed to do on that play. This is where I stopped liking Shamar James right here. This was in the Green Bay game. Watch this. And I'm gonna take this off the screen. Watch this. Boom. Let's watch. So K9's been playing with a bum ankle too. Watch that. Look at his ankle. But watch what Shamar James does on this play. And I said, yo, he changes direction too slow. Watch this. How did you let that guy get by you? Like you see him coming a mile away. Look at this. There's nobody in front of you. You see him. You see the guy. You're gonna miss the guy from this close and then never get anywhere near him after that. I said something must be wrong with his feet. But people were like, he's fast as hell. I was like, where? Maybe in a straight line, but not change the direction. You see what we got going on here. K9's to the right, to the left of the screen, I mean. These are the things I like that he does. He covers really well, but let me get this off the screen because I don't want to get a strike. So I'm going to get that out of here. Get that out of here too. All right, boom. I'm going to find one that I cut up for you. He said, ain't gonna lie, Murray is our best corner on the field. The way he covered receivers, they hit that hip pocket is amazing. He got Jalen Smith syndrome, overthinking as a green dot. Probably, I would say he overthinks. Let me show you some more film. Here's some plays that I like from him, right? Where I'm like, yo, and this is not AFC North. These are just things that I know to go to because I've seen some things, right? Yeah, I know. I spell wrong. I spell stuff wrong too. Don't worry about that. Let me see. Real quick versus the Raiders, right? Watch this. I'll just show you the Raiders game real quick. I showed this already on another channel, but watch this. I'm gonna get to the film real quick. Let me get to it. All this whole game, all this footage was him covering well, but this whole game, he covered pretty well. Like they weren't able to throw. He got a couple of coverage sacks that he forced in this game. Let me see here. He's covering number 89 here. He's in the middle of the field. Boom. His cover. He didn't have to do much on that particular play, but when you see where Geno Smith is looking, watch this. Geno Smith is staring him down. He can't throw that ball because of where K9 is. And that happened. It's happened twice in this game. That happened twice. Watch this. Boom. Now on this play, watch this play real quick. You're going to learn something about him. He didn't gain enough depth after this play action. So they play action him. They got him shallow, and then he didn't get back, right? And they ran this route behind him, and he couldn't get under it, right? Boom. But he almost got there. Had he got a little bit more depth, he would have got there. He knows that. He paid attention. I just want to see you adjusting. Are you learning? Are you forever dumb, or can you learn? See? Right there. Boom. He almost got underneath that, almost got his hand on that. Couldn't. He couldn't. Watch this. But then later on, you see this. This is the play action one. Right there to watch him in the middle of the field right here. Wacko Vaughn. Just watch this. Wacko. Watch. Look at this play. Now, Geno Smith is looking right now, looking to the right now. Had he thrown that ball, he was jumping that. Like he was on the hip pocket of whoever. I don't know that dude. Bowers, I think his name is. He was in Bowers' hip pocket. Now watch this. This is another play action. Watch this. He bites this one. Now, just biting the play action is enough, right? But now you got to find your man in space and match him. You know how hard that right there, right, what he just did is? Because look at how much distance there is. He closed the gap so fast. It's just crazy to me. So his coverage ability is what I like about him, not his run dissecting. He's a coverage backer. There are such things as cover two backers, and he's a cover two backer. He's a linebacker. He does things that you can't ask linebackers to do regularly, and you can't ask Roquan Smith and those types of guys to do. You know what I'm saying? They can't do those things. They're downhill backers. Now, right there, he bit again twice. This is a bad bite at that. He bit. Watch K9. Bite. Done. He's cooked. Now he turns inside because Bowers looks like he's running a crosser. He recognizes that Bowers is running now like a 7 route, right? Or a post. Gets back under this, but this time it's not like last time. He gained depth before he turned and looked for the ball. Boom. Knocks the ball in the air, interception. That play alone, to me, is like, look, if you can figure out how to use this guy correctly, he could do a lot of good things for you because this is ridiculously hard. How many linebackers, and I'm just being honest, how many linebackers in the league can change direction that many times and still make a play? How many corners can? We just watched this. Watch this. We just watched this. Remember this? Let's watch Hooker here. Watch Hooker. This isn't a linebacker. This is a safety. Watch Hooker. Hooker is guarding Kelsey to the left, to the top of the screen. Boom. You see that? Changing direction there? Hooker got cooked changing the direction. This is a safety. You know what I'm saying? Cooked. He does not get cooked in these same situations. Kenneth Murray doesn't. And I'm like, you can use that possibly. You know what I'm saying? Possibly. I think so. You know what I mean? But you know, everybody don't gotta agree with me. Here, he run this play to the flat. Let me see if this is one. Boom. That's not one, but that was just good coverage. But why did the ball go to the flat there? You want to know why? Watch what they see to the right. So Bowers, he's on Bowers again. And Bowers is a guy that draws corners. Boom. Watch this. Where's Geno looking right now? He's looking right at K9. He can't throw that ball there because K9's, so he throws the check down. These are things that he'll never get credit for, but he knows he's doing it, and the coaches knows he's doing it. But nobody who's watching it knows he's doing these things because they're not paying attention. But watch that. Boom. He's on that. He was going to jump whatever Geno threw that way. Boom. So he's creating not only hold on a second. Is this the play? Yes. No, that's not it either. Hold on a second. This one. He creates mismatches and baits quarterbacks at linebacker. I haven't seen linebackers bait quarterbacks except for Fred Warner. Boom. And I'm not saying he's as good as Fred Warner. He just has a particular skill set that I like. That right there, like he can blitz as well, and he was blitzing before he got here. And I'm like, why does nobody use him in that way? Boom. Short pass because of his pressure. But this game, right, they conveniently forget that he did that game, right? They don't even talk about it. They just act like, oh, we won. They didn't say anything about what he did in that game to help us win. because to do that, you got to now eat your words, all the things you've been saying the weeks prior. And that's why I don't just talk crazy about every player. Now, um, this is him too, Wacko. I'm gonna show you some more. Watch this. Now, this is old. This is why everybody keep atting me, because this is what I broke down when I looked at him. Kenneth Murray Jr., good versus run, blitzes well, plays violent, good coverage, right? That's because it's in the film. I didn't know who he was. I didn't watch him in college. I'm just watching the things he did in one game. Watch this game. So this is all one game. So he's blitzing off. They blitzed him off of the edge like a nickel here. Beautiful. Good blitz. He forced the ball out early. I think this was an incomplete pass, or if it wasn't, it was just like a low ball. Then they got him in the B gap, lined up like we used to use Micah, and he's blitzing from here, and he does well. Boom, gets through the running back. This was a good game. I was like, damn, who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, if he plays like this here, oh, I could take him. And then watch this. Now, this play here. Let me see if this is the one before I say it. Yes, this play here is crazy work. I mean, ridiculously crazy. Now here, he's turned his hips inside right now. CJ Stroud is reading this correctly because he's running a dig right behind him, right? And if you see a linebacker turn his hips outside when you have a guy cutting inside, he's cooked. Even the corner's cooked if he had his hips turned outside. K9 knows that. How did he change and flip his hips this fast and make this play? This was why I said, hey, I can do something with it. If I was a coordinator, I would like the guy. Who the fuck can make this play? Who can make this play? Do you see where he is? And not only is he shadowing, he's covering the guy who with like instinct, because he don't even know where he is. He's not even looking at him, but still accelerates and makes that play. Like, linebackers don't do that. Like, this is not what linebackers do. He's a coverage backer. And if you can't figure out how to use him, it's because you might have a downhill scheme. Now, if you have a downhill scheme, he's not very good in a four lineman set, so a 4-3 set, right? But here's where he is good, since we talking about it. Let's watch. Here's where he is good, and I'm going to show you. When he's in the 3-4 look, he doesn't have problems, half as many problems when we're playing those 5-2 looks and so on. He don't have those types of issues. Let me show you. Boom. And even in the Washington game, watch this. Let me remove that one. Don't get this up here. Now, even in the Washington game, even when we weren't in 5-2, like here's a 4-down set, he was just making plays all over the place because he's athletic as hell. He can move. And this is a division game. So I'm like, when I'm watching this guy, I don't love him because I don't love him at all. It's not like I'm looking at him and saying, yo, I wish we get Kenneth Murray because I can't wait to get him. It's just that when he does things like this, I don't hear anybody. In this game, they was talking about Shamar James because he forced a fumble when nobody blocked him. But nobody said anything about Kenneth Murray because, again, to say that, you would have to say, you know, he played well. You know what I mean? And you don't want to say it. So that's hate. And if you hating, I ain't gonna co-sign that. Watch this. They say he's not physical. I think on this play, even though they ran, no, this wasn't him. He actually got walled off on that play. Got walled off pretty good. Here, boom. Got a sack there, boom. Nobody said anything about that. They just they act like it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he has games where if he's playing free, meaning if you got guys in front of him that can keep him clean, he's a pretty good backer. He's sideline to sideline. And that's most backers if you can keep him clean. But he's not a downhill guy. But even when he had to be downhill, like in this particular game, he had to come down here and do some things that he doesn't like to do. And I thought he shedded the block well there. I thought he chose a side, but he recovered after choosing the side. Let me see. Hope I don't get this straight. Let me see. Oh, this play, I think this is Morris Leah foul here. Oh, no. Wrong play. Wrong play. They ran right at him on this play. Boom. And this is good, bad, and ugly. He got pushed out of there. Don't like that at all. Watch this. But why? Let me see what happens in front of him. Yeah, they were gaming. They were trapping or gaming Houston. So he didn't have a combo block in front of him. The tackle just ran right up the field and went right after him. He gets a sack on this play because of Morris Leah foul, but it's just a push out sack. It wasn't like he got in the backfield. But the way he covers ground. Look at what he's doing. He's covering right now in the middle of the field, which is why he couldn't throw the ball to Hurts at first. Hurts, I mean, and then he's able to track the quarterback or Daniels and get him out of bounds. Here we go again. Boom. That play there, he got into his gap and did what he was supposed to do. What he forced a cut and Clowney got to make the tackle. I got no problem with none of that. You know what I'm saying? No problem with that. Right there, he's covering Hurts, gets down, boom, comes down, makes a play, makes a good hit. No problem with that. And that was third down. That made it fourth down. Nobody says anything about and this game was probably his best game this year, but he had a couple of games like this. I would say the Raiders game was probably his best game, but he had a couple games like this year, probably like 6 or 7 games where it's like, yo, are y'all watching 59? And nobody said a word. And he's all over the place. Didn't like that blitz angle, to be honest. Let me see what we're doing here. Now, this is a 5-man set. This is just for Osa. I'll put that in there. He didn't really have to do much. But when we're in those 5 sets like this, the 5-2 or the 3-4, this is where he'll shine. Like if you're having the 3-4 as a plugger, as your second linebacker, not the green dot guy, but just your second linebacker, somebody in there, cool. Your pluggers, him as a plugger, as a will is where he should be. I don't like him as green dot because it's too much responsibility for him. But you see him on this hash, on the left hash here, they'll have him covering someone to the right of the screen or the top of the screen from all the way over here. You saw that in the Panthers game, and everybody was mad at that game. You see what I'm saying? They'll have him covering all the way across the field from the opposite hash. And I'm like, why you keep putting them in position as a disadvantage? You're trying to bait a quarterback, I know, into throwing to the star, right? You're trying to bait him there, but it's just too much. This is too much. Like you're asking too much of him when you do that. I don't like that. I don't like that for him. Let me see here what's happening. Here, what's he doing? Just chasing Daniels out. Boom. Just good speed, good explosive. I can do something with that. Good speed. Can't run away from him. Here he was just spying. Yeah, I ain't like that. Here he's blitzing, got killed. He got cooked on this blitz right here. Watch it. Oh, they're about to cook him. Oh, he tripped. Yeah, I thought he got pancaked. He did, but he tripped though. I thought he got just flat out pancaked. Boom. That was a good downhill rep for me, you know what I mean, versus run. So like I said, this game he played very well. He has other games like this as well. I'll put the Giants game up too. He played and versus the division, he played very well. Boom. Sheds the block, makes the tackle. No problem with that. Let me keep going. See what else he's doing here. Watch his coverage here on Ertz in the middle of the field. He stays with his guy no matter who it is, and he finds him in space. So he's matching with his guy. He said, y'all was wilding on Twitter. I be going crazy, man. You already know. I go in on Twitter. I do. Let's see what's happening here. Who's he covering on this play? This play gave up a touchdown on the goal line. Let me see what happens here. Sheds the block and get in there, but you know what I mean? He didn't stop him. He can make a tackle here. Yeah. Who that? That's him again. Boom. Smack. So when that play that you saw against the Minnesota Vikings, right? This is a similar look. So this is a 5-down set, and this is why I said when he has 5 linemen in front of him, he's a 3-4 linebacker, in my opinion, and a cover 2 backer. When he has guys in front of him that's occupying those blocks, he can run the grass and play a space sideline to sideline very well. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to shed blocks at some point, and he can do it, but not all game. He's not that guy. I won't even lie and say that. You know what I'm saying? But his coverage ability is raw, is vicious. Here as well. But this is him in Washington. Like these reps, I don't have a problem with this game from him. You know what I'm saying? Don't have a problem with this game. See him in the A gap. Let's see what's happening. I don't remember what happens here. Yeah. This. is what people curse him out over. And I do too. Let me show you some. Let me see here. Boom. There's another tackle for loss. Yeah. I don't have a problem with these. Now watch this one though. This I have a problem with. Watch what he does here. Don't go under the damn block. Now I think maybe he thought this guy was cutting right here, but he does this sometimes. Maybe he thought that he was going to press this gap straight, and then Marquise Bell is out there in the C gap. So maybe he thought that, but I didn't like the fact that he went under that block. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you the good, bad, and ugly. But if I showed just that rep, if I just showed this, is this how he played all game? No. You know what I'm saying? If I just showed this play, like, is this how he played all game? No. You know what I'm saying? If I just showed this rep, you would think that he's just a run stopper and he was killing it all game. If I just showed this rep, you would think he's dodging work and he's scary all game. But that's not the game. It's just like you got to give the good, the bad, and the ugly. Marcus Mariota ran away from him. His change, I mean, that's just crazy. Watch the coverage here. He's just picking guys up that's crossing the field. He's just all over the place with that, man. Couldn't throw the ball shallow because he was right there on everything. You see what happened on this play. That's what I don't like about Shamar James. Right there, he can't change direction. Look at Shamar here. He's just in quicksand. Once you cut him, once you cut on him, he's like he ain't got nothing left. All right, I think that's all of that film for that one. Boom. And I got more, but like I said, I do gotta go upstairs, man. I'm about to help her cheat on her homework. To be honest with you, that's why I don't really care. Eber's zone could be dope if he pressed the corners with disguise and help over the top in his exchange zone defense. Yeah, but Eberflus plays soft for some reason. Akoye, what if Eberflus is not good enough? Because I don't think he know what he's doing. It's not that he know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's stubborn and he thinks that he has his Chicago team or something. Like, you don't have that team. You need to. I don't think he watched any film of these guys to figure out what they could do and what they couldn't do. Because he came in like, that teacher or like that boss that comes in firing everybody because he's trying to establish himself. He came in throwing weight around. You know what I mean? She said Bowers is a excellent tight end. I wanted us to sign him so bad. Yeah, he covered Bowers pretty well. Vaughn, if you still on here, you want me to go? You want some more, bro? I'll throw some more up here, man. I'll throw some more up here. Let me see what we got. Let me see what I got for you. Watch this game, actually. Let me see if I got this. He said, I miss Chris Richard, but our run D suck. Those playoffs too. Yeah, it's Chris Richard. I didn't like him. I don't think he had enough talent to be what I think he could have been. But I don't like him. All right, let me see. Boom, 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 boom. What happened? They got me? What happened? Did they get me? How they get me? Ain't nothing even up right now. That's wow. I took it off the screen. Man, they get me every time, man.